Well, hello and welcome everyone. Coming at you live from the mountains of Western North Carolina. I am Mr. Mountain Man and welcome to Mountain Man Monday. Today is live stream episode number 47. It's October the 5th, 2020. I hope everyone has had a great start to their week and hopefully we'll end off this Monday having a little fun here on the Mr. Mountain Man weekly live stream. I want to welcome everyone who is joining live, and those of you that may be watching later, you can always catch the archive live streams on the Mr. Mountain Man YouTube channel under the live stream playlist. So as we welcome people into here, we are getting into the depths of fall. The mountains are showing off. It's beautiful, cooler temps. I can't complain. Everything's going pretty well. So I hope, again, you all are doing well. And we'll give it a few minutes and let folks roll in here today. And let's see, we've got a few people. Who is first across the finish line on October 5th for live stream episode 47? Drum roll, please. It is Dr. J. Our show, our story. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello to you as well. I hope everything is going well on the other side of the mountains over there in Tennessee. We got Tim Wheaton. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man. Hello to you as well. Glad to have you here as always. Hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. Faye is here, and a big hello to Faye. And I hope you are doing well down south and everything's going well. And maybe, just maybe, you're getting some cooler temps down there in Florida. How am I doing? Lily, I am doing great. I hope you are doing just as well up in your neck of the woods. Let us know how you're doing. Everyone, let us know how you're doing. And again, I hope everybody's having a great start to their week. The Mountain Man Monday is a little tongue-in-cheek about Monday because Monday historically is kind of the ho-hum day of the week, especially if that's when your work week starts. And so we just try to wrap it up having a good day, and I can't complain. I missed the last episode. Sorry, no problem at all. Again, you can always catch it later in the week. You just can't chat if you're live, but you can still leave comments if you have a comment, and I will follow up. But glad to have you here live and in person this evening. We've got Smoky Mountain Hiker. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man and everyone in chat. Hello to you as well. Hope you're doing well. And another plug for Smoky Mountain Hiker's channel. A lot of great content coming across the wire from Smoky Mountain Hiker, especially this time of the year. So much going on over in East Tennessee. Kentucky Girl, good evening, Mr. Mountain Man. Good evening to you as well. Yes, with the fall emoji icons, it is getting fall. It is getting beautiful. And it's just a great time of the year. I mean, it's always a great time of the year, but it's getting really nice. We got Foxy Wolf. Wrap up and stay warm up there, Mr. Mountain Man. Happy Mr. Mountain Man Monday to y'all. Got the arms out. Yes, and like it. So we are actually, interestingly, it's gotten a little bit warmer this week than it was last week. So it's an interesting time of the year where it kind of goes through cold and warm, which is another way to, forgetting about the pandemic, just the regular old-fashioned cold and flu season. Mr. Mountain Man and Mom is here. Both the parental units are on. I hope you're doing well. Dad texted me yesterday, maybe, to say hello. So all you folks out there, my dad doesn't text that much, but when he does, I really appreciate it. So when I get a text, I usually jump right on it. It's kind of stinky these days because I love the world and that we have so many ways to communicate, but it's really diluted the old-fashioned phone call. So sometimes we go lengths of time without talking on the phone because we get micro updates via text and other little blasts, which kind of subsidizes the more grandiose update with the family. So I need to be old-fashioned and hop on the phone like on the weekend with my parents. So hope you're doing well. I know you're in Northern Ohio, and I hope you're enjoying the cooler weather. Dad said that the leaves were starting to turn, so that's really awesome. And thanks for being here. Glad to have you. Can't ask you how the Steelers did because, well, they're not playing. So who else here? Oh, we got Fridays Forever just dropping in to say hi. Hope you are doing good, doing great. I hope you are as well. Hope everything is excellent in your neck of the woods and starting out the week nicely here on the Mountain Man Monday. Let us know how you are doing. Let's see here. Let me catch back up. Yes, looking forward to the fall colors and cooler weather. I'm definitely digging the cooler weather right now. It's those temperatures right now where at night I have the HVAC set up, the heating and cooling, where it's like it's cool and heat between. Normally in the summer, it's just air conditioning. In the winter, it's obviously just heat. But right now it's like, the days are confusing. So if it gets below, 68, kick the heater on. But if it's above, I don't know, 75 or whatever it is, kick the air back on. So it kind of stays right in between, which is a great indicator that it's very comfortable outside. Lily says, doing good, beginning to feel like fall for sure. It is. Yep. Maybe the flowers are keeling over, but the trees and the leaves are looking really nice. Faye says, I love having Mountain Man Monday to look forward to, and it's great to have you here. Faye, also a plug for her and her woodworking channel. Check it out on YouTube. It's the Sunshine Woodworking, I believe is what it's called. Faye can put the name in here. Makes some really cool stuff like pens and such with the 3D printer. Very, very creative. It's really nice. Smoky Mountain Hiker has me jealous here. I've already read this comment. Thank you. Had a beautiful day on the Blue Ridge today. I love the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's just a fantastic place to be, especially this time of the year. It really is nice. Did I miss anything from Foxy? It says you're getting around. Let's see. You get around. Yep. And everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Oh, hey, Rita's here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hope you and the family are doing well. I'm doing well. Video and audio is really good. Thank you on all fronts. The family as well. Thank you for that audio and video check, as always, our fantastic mountain internet. I try to squeeze every drop to bring you quality as much as possible. I'm checking out the audio here. I don't think I'm over volume blasting you guys out, so it should sound decently. We're doing well. I can't complain. It was a nice weekend. Did a lot of stuff. Just a lot of odds and ends. I think I posted a couple of pictures on Instagram, but on the Eclectic Handyman, because like Friday I was repairing my TV. One of the boards on the back, took it apart, and then also replaced an electrical switch. And then Saturday painted for like 6 hours. And then Sunday I replaced the carburetor, muffler, and spark plug on a leaf blower. And the reason I did that was because there's so many leaves around here on the trees that, it gets like almost like a commercial use out of it. So it gets worn out, and the parts are really cheap. So like really cheap. Like that's the funny thing about small engine repair. If you all have any lawn equipment or own a home and you don't do it yourself, which is completely normal, most people don't, and you take it in, they charge you an arm and a leg. I bought a brand new carburetor. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll just make some comparisons. I got a brand new carburetor with air filters, spark plug, adjustment tool, and seals for $14 on eBay. That's incredible, because if you took a weed whacker or a leaf blower or something like that into the repair shop to have them do it, they'd charge you $200, probably, at least. $14. And it's a piece of cake. I mean, it's just Legos, taking things off, putting things on, connect it. Oh, and a new fuel filter too. So anyway, it was a busy weekend, but then it was great because I powered it up. It ran a lot better. I was able to blow the leaves around and get them off the driveway. So, but Dr. J is saying he misses summer already. Dr. J and the family are saying they miss summer already. So yeah, every season in the mountains and everywhere has its, fun parts. Like, for example, if you're a beach person, the summer is great because, the water's warm and you got all those activities. Or if you like boating and lakes and jet skis and fishing, and well, you can do ice water fishing, but all that kind of stuff, and hiking, and you don't have to worry about coats and all that kind of stuff. But then you get in the fall and the winter and snow, and some people like it and some people don't. I do appreciate the mountains in the summer. I really like that green look. In fact, I mean, I know it's beautiful with all the leaves, but that solid green sunny day, no drought, had enough water, the mountains just incredible. Like some of the pictures I posted this summer are really cool. Let's see. Fries Forever, we're doing good. Love the fall, sweatshirts and campfires. You bet. I mean, all the fun things are just, kind of, it's weird because I was about to say it's kind of like winding down, it's that part of the year. But then again, the holidays come around and that ratchets it back up to a 10. I think some people get hangover from how crazy the holidays can get. I don't mean like a legitimate hangover. I just mean a metaphorical one that you remember and recall, all the headaches from, how crazy the season can get. And so it's nice to keep it in check so that you can actually let things slow down and enjoy Thanksgiving, Christmas. And of course the kids love Halloween. And so lots of fun stuff. What's always mind boggling to me though, is it's October 5th. Okay. 3 months from now, it will be past New Year's Day. That's how quick the end of the year goes. 3 months. So you roll back 3 months, we're at July 4th, basically, which didn't seem that long ago. Do that again and we'll be past New Year's. I mean, so you got to slow it down and enjoy everything. Because it's just crazy how quickly it'll be 2021 before you know it. And it's like, what happened? Let's see here. Tim says, time to hit the apple orchards and hunt for the perfect pumpkins for Halloween. That's right. So, I kind of like, the older I get, like, as I drink my flavored water here, I make sure that so I was at the grocery store and they had these little, what are called pie pumpkins, and they were on sale. And when I go grocery shopping, because I'm always on a budget because of the family, I'm kind of like a database in my head. Like every item I pick up, I can remember most of the costs of them. So then I watch the screen like a hawk, and I know how much things cost. So if something doesn't ring up right, I usually say something. But I've learned to understand that, always leave the door open that you, meaning me, could be wrong. Because I can't tell you how many times I've had conviction about something like, oh, this is not right. And then I'm wrong and I feel silly. So I'm checking out, and these pie pumpkins are supposed to be 59 cents a pound. But it's just kind of like, it's just kind of a bad way they have it come out on the receipt. They don't, half the items on the list, they show you what that discounted. So if you pick up oatmeal and it was $3.99, but it's on sale for $2.99, it'll say on the receipt, $2.99 saved $1. It makes sense, right? Saved $1, $2.99. But with the pumpkins, it said 70 cents a pound. And then it gave the net price. And I was like, that's not, it's on the sign outside. It's on the main sign. So I just politely went up to the manager. I'm like, oh yeah, just FYI, your pumpkins say that they're 59 cents a pound, but right here on the receipt, it says 70 cents a pound, but no big deal. And he's like, no. The way it works on that one is you saved 70 cents a pound. See, it was $1, 29 a pound, or $1.19, $1.29, and then you saved 70 cents. So on the receipt, you actually never see the 59 cents that's advertised. You have to, not that the math is a big deal, it's just it's inconsistent how they did it. So there's more than you ever wanted to know about how I operate at the grocery store. But since they brought it up about the pumpkins, I bought these little pumpkins, not the ones you carve, the ones that are just little, they're called pie pumpkins. And I was wrong. So it's immediately, and I wasn't accusational. I told the manager, I said, oh, I think it's wrong. He's like, oh no, this is how it is. I said, I'm so sorry. I apologize. So, yeah. Anyway, getting along. Yes. Faye's channel is called Sunshine Woodworking. Kentucky girl got an update on the cat. I believe, right? I hope all things are well. Ted and Deborah Harrison say hello, Mr. Mountain Man, and everyone else in the chat. Hello to you. I hope you're having a great start to your week and fall is treating you well. Let us know how you're doing. Foxy Wolf says still shorts and flip-flops weather here. I believe Foxy Wolf is in the South as well, Georgia, or maybe that area, Southeast in the United States. Yeah, I remember when I lived in Florida, there was no let up until like November, December. Faye said, I haven't gotten to post again yet, but I need to. Life got busy at work. I know how that goes. Faye, I haven't had a chance to talk to you directly, but I'm assuming your channel's very similar in that, it's a hobby. So you post when you can. I'm on average posting about twice a month, not including the weekly live streams. Yes. Smoky Mountain Hiker says, really hoping they are wrong about the hurricane. Won't be good for Louisiana or the leaves here. Yeah. So I have a news article on that, but not on the hurricane, but on the perfect recipe for a good fall, autumn. And it's weird because too much rain's bad. Not enough rain is bad. So you want that sweet spot where you're just getting the right amount. I guess foliage in general really wants that. And then, the weather, about how cold or hot it is. So, yeah, hopefully, that's the thing is hurricane season officially, I believe, goes until November 1st or October 31st. And sometimes you get some late stragglers. So, and actually, when I lived in Florida, most of the hurricanes I experienced were in early October. So, hoping for a quiet season, continued quiet season. We got Kenneth Oaks here. Hello, everyone. Hello to you as well. I hope you're having a great start to your week and a nice Monday. Let us know how you are doing. Let's see. Whoop, I missed. Well, I'm a little bit behind. I got to do it. Oh my goodness gracious. That's what I get for telling a story about the grocery. It is a great price for a carburetor. And I know you're pretty handy too, Faye. If you ever have to do any work on your equipment, pull out the manual or look up the model number online, find the part number, Google it, look on Amazon. You'd be surprised. Stuff is cheap. Thank you, Foxy Wolf. Twitter, Instagram account for Mr. Mountain Man is at Mr. Mountain_man. Same on both Twitter and Instagram. Instagram's great for the pictures. Twitter is great for the announcements and other things. And so love to have people stay in contact. Dr. J says, I got a great deal on brake cylinders once from eBay. I paid $20 and got a $25 mail-in rebate. Yes, that's awesome. A little bit of handy goes a long way. It really squeezes a lot more out of that lemon of life. Well, I shouldn't say it like that, but like the budget, like you get more mileage if you can just do a few things. And I've talked about that before. I don't get into stuff. I mentioned this the other week, like that's like more like an art that you can really mess up, like laying floors or certain kinds of woodworking that I'm better with the binary, screw in, screw out. This is how you disassemble it. This is how you reassemble it. I do a lot of stuff like that. BBBB, we got you. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man, I finally got to catch you live. We really enjoy your channel. Brian and Brenda, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's a very kind compliment and really happy to have you here tonight. I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. Love the picture of the dog in the avatar there. And so let us know how you're doing. Thank you for joining us tonight. For Handyman Hints and Cool Fix You Vlogs, visit Mr. Mountain Man at his other YouTube channel, The Eclectic Handyman. Yeah, I have a good time on that one, talking about tools or doing stuff. I really enjoy that one because whereas this one is, entertainment focused and enjoyment for us as a community, the other one, well, I guess it can be entertainment like the Craftsman stuff, but a lot of it is trying to help. Like I've mentioned this before, so sorry to repeat myself for those of you that are regulars, but I did once replace an old White Rogers thermostat with a Nest thermostat. So you're talking about going from like 1970 or 80 to 2018 or 20. And a lot of people love that video because a lot of people want to make that upgrade. And so I had somebody give me a comment like, oh, this is fantastic. Really helped me out. I like helping people on that. It's really cool. Kentucky Girl, that's super awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys have fun. And that was real nice what Faye said earlier. Looking forward to Mountain Man Monday. I hope everybody feels like that and just has fun shooting the breeze. Campfires, roasting hot dogs and s'mores without getting a heat stroke. That's right. Yeah, because being in front of the fireplace, it can get really obnoxious to try to do that in the summer. It gets so hot. We got Mermaid Princess here. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. We are doing well. Everything is great. I hope you're doing well. And let us know how you're doing, actually. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Thank you for joining us. As well, Living Like Larry with the Camaro. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man and all. Good evening to you as well. I hope you are having a great start to your week. Let us know how you're doing. Very nice, everybody saying hello to each other. Got Smoky Mountain Hiker, be careful on the hurricane coming through. Yeah, so check the 10-day forecast and just be aware. A lot of times the one saving grace, although don't take my word for it, when these storms get that far inland, they're not about the wind, obviously, and such. It's usually more about the rain and flooding. So Smoky Mountain Hiker's right, because, flash flooding and whatnot, it can be a problem. Foxy Wolf says, welcome to Mr. Mountain Man Monday. Please be sure to hammer. So I got to get the hammer out. The hammer the thumbs up. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you here every Monday. Yes, every Monday, as long as I don't say, guys, I got to skip this week. I've done pretty well. I don't think I've skipped a Monday. And I was thinking about that today. I don't think I've skipped a Monday in a while. I mean, I never just skip because I don't feel like it. It's always something comes up. But we've had a good run here. Yeah. I do not like the way the store receipts read. Yeah, they, deciphering if you save the right amount of money. I will tell you that one of the best places, usually, I got to admit, is Walmart. They've got it down to a science. Like if their price on the shelf, it's usually matching. It's the grocery stores, the local ones that get out of sync because they run sales and they have to reprogram the pricing. And sometimes what I find is that the pricing that's advertised on the shelf isn't matching what the computer has yet, either human mistake or they just didn't get it. And so I find more errors at the local grocery stores. That's usually what happens with me. Hey, we've got Adriana here. What's up, everyone? How was the weekend? It was good. Just a lot of fixing into doing and enjoying the weather. How was your weekend? I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. Kentucky girl said, I thought a Foxy Wolf lived on the border of the Okefenokee swamp. Did I say that right? Okefenokee. You guys taught me how to say that once. Like down in Florida, we got is it Oconaluchi? Right? Yeah, but man, once I learn how to say these are awesome names. Sometimes I butcher them. So please forgive me if I did not say that correctly. Faye says it's still in the 80s here. And a follow-up to that would be in Florida. Adriana says, do you miss Florida? The only thing I miss about Florida overall is we were big Disney World fans. We had Disney annual passes. It would have been interesting if I had wanted to get into YouTube, say 10 years ago, because I was having an annual pass before a lot of channels started up. That wasn't really my thing at the time. And in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because I was able to fully be immersed in the experience and not have to worry about creating content. But nonetheless, about the YouTube part, we love Disney World, but we weren't going to stay in Florida for just the parks. But it was, that was our favorite part because it got the family together to do stuff. Much like this weekend when I'm here at the house, I'm always got an eye for what do I need to do and how do I need to fix this and that. And so when we get out as a cohesive group, like we did the apple orchard, it forces us, to forget all the responsibilities and do something fun. But other than that, I love the mountains. I love the change in season. I love the motorcycle riding here better. I love being a little more remote. I like definitely the less heat. I don't miss the hurricanes. And a lot of things, but Florida is a great place for a lot of people. There's a big reason why so many people move to Florida. Living Like Larry had a comment, even though it was to Rita, said, thank you for checking out my channel. All the super nice comments. Very much appreciated. We have to do that. Check out Living Like Larry's channel. And Larry, remind us what, you know what? I'm just going to Google it real quick. Please excuse the interruption. Do I have the right channel? SpongeBob? Well, there's a lot of Living Like Larry's. When I do Living Like Larry on YouTube, I get a whole bunch of SpongeBob stuff. Are you doing cartoons? Hold on, that can't be it. Or is it? Oh, I found it. We've got okay. So we've got Kia, German Shepherds, and Florida. Well, we've got Holiday Inn at Fort Walton Beach, Gatlinburg, and Cades Cove. Oh, well, that's just on the main page. We got the ribs. You did mention the ribs. Oh, cool. Ohio State Reformatory self-guided tour. Very neat. Um, and some other stuff in Ohio. That's cool. Everybody check out Living Like Larry. You will find it because it has the yellow Camaro. So there's a plug. Yes, it's a hobby for me, so I post when I can. Hopefully I'll be able to post here more soon. Yeah. You got to keep it in check because what I found with YouTube is it will begin to creep into your head. I got to do this, I got to do that. And when it becomes like work, unless you're trying to make a living at it, but when it's a hobby, it shouldn't be like that. It should be complete enjoy. Well, maybe I'm preaching the wrong way, but it should, in my book, be enjoyment. So when it feels like, because there were nights when I would feel that pressure too, like, long day at work and all things going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get some content out or things are going to get stagnant and nobody's pushing me for it. It just, trying to keep it in check. It just keeps things more positive. And it grows organically. We can't stay for long. Oh, got to get ready for work tomorrow, but did want to let you know that we had a blast tasting some turkey dinner flavored candy corn. Look for it this Thursday. I'm a little behind if you already left. I apologize, but yes, we will look for that because our show, Our Story also has a channel. As I always say, please plug your channel when you're here. I totally encourage it. We're all, for the most part, amateur YouTube channels here. Let people know and check it out. Living Like Larry. It was crazy foggy here this morning. Yeah. You get those mornings where you wake up and it does. Today, I had an eye doctor appointment this morning. I wear contacts. So I needed to go for my yearly eye exam. And it was a 7 a.m. exam. So it was like bright and early. And I get there. It wasn't foggy, by the way, but I get there. It was a beautiful morning, but it was still dark outside. There's nobody there. And I'm like, oh gosh. And I check my phone again. And yeah, it's 7 a.m., October the 5th. And I walk up to the door at 7. I'm like, well, maybe I should just go up and see. And it had these signs that stop. These doors are locked. Scan this QR code and we'll check you in online. So then I go back to the car and it says it's starting up a video. And I'm like, oh my God. I like, oh my gosh, this is going to be telehealth, like a video. And I'm like, they didn't tell me. I could have just stayed at home. But then they called me on the phone and said, hey, we'll come to the front door and let you in. And then all the lights pop on and then they come out and check me in and everything was good with the eyes. They're always telling me as you get older, you're not going to be able to see up close, but your far vision will get better. And they're always telling me that. And thus far, I still don't have a problem reading up close. I haven't done like this job yet. But yeah, so anyway, that's what was happening this morning. Hey, we got Loggy Doggy here. Hello, Mr. Mountain and hello, everyone. Hello to you as well. Hope you're having a great start to your weekend. Thank you for joining us. Let you know how you are doing. Swamp is a couple of counties over down here in southern Georgia. Yes. Oh, I missed Marvin. Marvin's right here. Hey, all. Hey, Marvin. Glad to have you here. Always nice to have you here and appreciate you stopping by. Let us know how you are doing. Kenneth Oak says, I'm doing well. Thanks yourself. I'm doing well. I can't complain. Fall, just enjoying and happy to be here chatting with you guys here on a Monday. Also watch your secondary channel for help. I watched how to install my Nest thermostat. Oh, I wonder, did you make that comment before I made the comment or after? Because that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I've done it on a few now. The only gripe I have about Nest is I've been using Nest for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years now. I had like a generation 2. They're like $200 to $250 a piece. They're really awesome. They were ahead of their time. You can control them from your phone. They learn your temperatures. They're really slick. They don't tend to last more than 2 years before something happens. And there's a 2-year warranty on it. And believe you me, when I've had them die, I call up and I go through the rigmarole and they send me a new one unless it's out of warranty. There's 2 parts to a Nest. There's this electrical backing plate and then there's the main electronic part. Well, that backing plate is a cheap piece of plastic. And if it breaks, they don't sell it separately. They will warranty it, but they don't sell it separately. So if that stinker goes bad after 2 years, you're out. You good luck finding one on the secondary market because nobody sells just that part. So they've got you hook, line, and sinker. One of the HVAC guys that was in my house once told me that the Honeywell system that came after Nest is also very good. It has a lot of the same type technology in it. So yeah. Let's see. Hello. Are you getting concerned about the Brownies yet? No, because if you recall, I am a big time Steelers fan. So if the Brownies are 0-16 or 0-17, I could care less. I am a Buckeyes fan, but I'm also a Steelers fan. If you mean as a Steelers fan, am I concerned about the Brownies? I will echo once again, no, I do not care. Or if you mean, am I concerned because they're good? That's probably what you meant. And you probably did remember, and you're wondering if I'm worried about them breathing behind me because they're doing so well. No, still not worried yet. I mean, the AFC North is always a division to be reckoned with. They play rough, tough, old-fashioned football. So every team in the division is always a threat. But in my positive nature, I'll stay positive and say, no, I'm not worried. I always look forward to Mountain Man Monday. I appreciate that, Larry. That's really awesome. I love all my friends on Mountain Man Monday. Yeah, we have an excellent group in here, and it's just a sweet spot because everybody can get a word in and talk to each other. It's really, really cool and provide good information. Like, look at this. Like, BBBB heard from Smoky Mountain Hiker about the weather. It's just really good information exchange, too. Same as the others, hitting Louisiana, coming right up to the Smokies. Hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much once again. Us Ohio people struggle with them Florida names, right? Yeah, well, even when I was there, I would say, what's the big lake again? Oh, here we go. I see it coming up in the stream here. Did you grow up in Ohio? I saw Ohio State shirt before and a Steelers shirt. Yes, BBBB. I grew up in Central Ohio, so I'm a Buckeyes fan. My dad went to Pitt. Most of my family grew up in Pennsylvania, extended family, I should say. So I've been a lifelong Steelers fan and Buckeyes fan. So yes, those two teams, and I don't care where I move, I don't change teams. I have stayed Ohio State Steelers forever. Rita said, Mr. Mountain, I fixed my toilet watching your video on Eclectic Candyman. That's awesome. That's super cool. That was a great video. That was a longer video. That was a 45-minute video using a Flowmaster replacement kit from like Home Depot or Lowe's. They're like $18 or $19, and it replaces all the innards of a toilet tank. And you can't beat it because trying to replace one part at a time is kind of a waste of money. Well, I don't want to say a waste of money. It's just way more efficient of how cheap it is just to buy the kit and just do the whole thing. That is really cool, Rita. I'm glad that you were able to do that, and I hope that did help. That's really awesome. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Just hoping and praying this hurricane doesn't come my way like Hurricane Sally did. We lost power for 4 days and trees were down everywhere. I'm here in southern Alabama. Yes, I hope as well that you do not have any hurricane troubles. Again, listen, I lived in Florida on the coast, and it's not fun. The preparation, it's a hurry up and wait. The technology is so good. They know the hurricane when it's 8 days out, and they have tracks planned, and they're like, you're going to get it. The lines at the gas station, you can't buy anything. If you procrastinated and didn't have something, forget it. You're not going to get it. If you don't have a gas can or a fan or an extension cord or a generator, you better buy that stuff in January. And then you have to put all the shutters up, and that's a lot of work, and it's hot and humid. And then if the power gets knocked out, it's just disgusting in the house, like hot and humid and so I do not wish that upon anybody. I hope it just turns into nothing and passes by everybody. Maybe brings Foxy Wolf some rain somehow, because I know she's been talking about the drought there. Good job, Rita. Yes, on the toilet. Definitely. Hey, we got Smoky Mountain Rough Rider. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man. Hope you're having a great beginning of the week. I am. I hope you are as well. Let us know how you're doing. And thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoy the live stream. Sally cut my beach vacation short. Oh, I started to read that, and I thought it was one of those tongue twisters. Like, Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Sally cut my beachfront. Sally cut my beach vacation short. Feel so badly for those that can't get away from them. That's the only time I feel bad for them, though. Right. Yeah. It's a nuisance. I really do. I love to get to the end of hurricane season and everybody is unscathed. I am learning plumbing care and septic system care. I'm all for prevention. Yeah, the septic tank, we got one of those too. And Yeah, you don't mess around with those things. You treat it right and do the right thing so you don't have any problems. Get it pumped every few years. I mean, it's different, when you have to, be aware of those things. But that's definitely good to be proactive. You save yourself a lot of money if you just take care of stuff. That's the right way to approach it. I do travel and cooking mostly, some oddball stuff too. Look for the Camaro. Yes, not the SpongeBob. My kids came up with the name. Cool. Thanks for the plug, Mr. Mountain Man. I'm all over the place right now. Oh, no problem. Hey, listen, what you could have called yourself the Eclectic Larry. Like that's why I named myself the Eclectic Handyman, because I was all over the map. I didn't have one genre of stuff. And even on Mr. Mountain Man, like this channel, travel is all fair game. Anything travel related, doesn't matter. I've been to the Philippines and did, Japan and Florida and tons in the mountains. But like, I had a video that I did during quarantine of an at-home workout, because you guys know I all work out. And a lot of people were doing at-home workouts, and I wasn't wanting to become a workout channel. I just thought people would think it was interesting and different, but I never posted it. I never posted it because I was like, that's just too different. Like, people are going to be like, what's he doing? Now, this is not in reference to you, by the way, Larry. This was me trying to shape some consistency in the channel so I didn't drive people off. Not drive people off because I'm so worried about the numbers, but more of like, you guys give me feedback. You like what you see. So if I start going off in left field, maybe I'll alienate some people and they'll be like, oh, I don't like that. So I don't know. I was a little hesitant. I have some other stuff I still haven't done too that's a little different. So I don't know. It's a tough call. Yeah, what's up? I haven't seen AZ Rock. That's what I always say. It's like Cheers around here. We're all pulled up a bar stool. We know all the folks that come here now. So it is interesting. 1 week, I don't worry, 1 or 2 weeks. But I remember it was a while like, Tim Wheaton, if Tim's still here, I hadn't seen Tim in a while, a few months back. And Marvin and just some regulars in here. And then there's some people, and this is going to be normal too. There are some people that visit the channel for a while, they enjoy it, and then they just stop. Maybe it's not their cup of tea. They didn't enjoy it like they thought they would. They get bored of me. That is one thing I will say, though, I do try to strive for. I do try to make it dynamic to keep you all, interested and entertained and enjoying it. So I try to, mix things up a little bit. But I don't think that's why AZ Rock's not here. But he was here last week, I think. So I think he's all right. He also is right in Arizona, which is 3 hours behind. So it's 5 o'clock. So maybe he's working, or I can't remember if he was retired or not. Let's see. Now, I could be wrong, but AZ Rock is a gentleman. His name's Dale. His old name was Dale. You guys might remember he changed his name. Not giving it away. He just wanted like a cooler handle. But enlighten me if no, it's Dale, right? Yeah. Anyway, let me know if I'm wrong. Wait till you have to get bifocals. That's a whole new experience. I know my wife already does that, where she takes the thing and has to get those glasses from Walmart or Walgreens or whatever. So yeah. Do you do line or no line? Did I miss something? Was it fishing? Or are we talking about the glasses? I'm not familiar with that. Yeah. Yes. Before you comment about the Nest, I was laughing. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Because the Nest is real popular. And so is, I've mentioned this before, changing the turn signal bulb in a Dodge Grand Caravan. That's a simple operation and anybody can do it. But there was no videos for that particular model. And it was right around Thanksgiving, like 2-3 years ago. And I did it. All kinds of views and people love that. The bifocals you were talking about. Yes. And Living Like Larry confirmed, because I'm a Steelers fan, am I worried about them coming up behind, breathing heavy because they're doing so well? Are you concerned about Joe Burrow down the road? So Joe Burrow, I watched on the day of the draft, and you will have to enlighten me, but he did not seem that humble. He immediately got on Twitter and was like talking junk to some Steelers players, I think. And I remember thinking, win a game before you do that. Like I know you're hot stuff in college, but look at Baker Mayfield. Now I know he's doing a little better, but I mean, there's guys that in the college were just, they were everything. And then they get to the NFL and they get, a rude awakening. I mean, look at Tom Brady. He was like a 6th-round draft pick out of Michigan. And look what he did. And Roethlisberger was the 3rd draft pick in that 2004 NFL draft behind Manning and the Chargers guy sideways. Why am I having a brain fart? Oh gosh, somebody will think of it. I can't. I'm embarrassed. I know who I'm talking about. You know the guy who was the quarterback for the Chargers for umpteen years. He threw sideways. Anyway, he used to have a sidearm delivery. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know how Joe Burrow will end up doing. We'll have to wait and see. I've used the toilet kits many times. Yes, they are very good deal. BB said, I have family in Washington Courthouse, Dublin, and Hilliard. Yeah, grew up right there in Central Ohio in the Columbus area. I'm very familiar with all of those areas right there. And now you're in West Virginia. Speaking of beautiful mountains. In fact, I have a friend coming to visit soon, and I had gone through West Virginia for the first time or maybe in a long time, and just remarking how beautiful it is. I mean, isn't the still state saying wild, wonderful West Virginia? It is a beautiful place. Hey, Todd. Hello, Mr. Mountain. Hello to you as well. Hope you're having a great start to your week. Thank you for joining us tonight, and I hope you enjoy. Yes, Mom says, hurry up and sweat. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and sweat is Florida getting ready for the hurricanes. Yes, absolutely, Mermaid Princess. And as always, all the folks here, it's great having you here tonight. And also, I always try to extend an extra hello and welcome to 2 groups of folks other than all the people I'm chatting with. One would be anybody who's new to the channel. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. Feel free to leave comments or chat. Let us know what you think or how you're doing. And the other group is just the folks that don't participate in the chat. And there is nothing wrong with that. Listen to it like a podcast. Enjoy it in the background. Maybe you're working. Maybe you're putting the dishes away. Maybe you're out in the yard mowing or about to go to bed and you want to hear me lull you to sleep. So I want to say hello to those folks as well as everybody who's just awesome here in the chat. You mentioned the word eclectic. Your last video is very eclectic. It had a lot in there. Very nice. Yes. So Kentucky Girl, that's actually a good segue if I can catch up. The new video that came out, which was, it was, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yes. Thank you for the tips or the nice feedback on that. Thank you, Kentucky Girl. How dare they? You know what? Here's the problem. I get 6 minutes behind and then I forget what some of these comments went to. So I forget what that was in reference to. Let me know. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Look forward to your live streams. Right. Thank you. I tried to ask in your video, but is the tower... Oh, sorry. I did see that Smoky Mountain Hiker. It was very early this morning. I got caught up in the day. The question is, but is the tower at Mount Mitchell open yet? Thought about going there today too, but did not want to go if the tower is still closed. I actually do not know for a fact because the tower that you're mentioning, I believe... Okay, you're going to have to tell me if I'm right or wrong. When I go to Mount Mitchell, we go up to the state park. And that's up Route 128. It's like the official park, and it's where everybody goes. And it's where those picnic cabins are and the viewing area and all of that. When you say tower, I believe you're mentioning the fire tower. And if I'm correct, I believe that's just a hair past Mount Mitchell, but I might be confusing it when you say tower because there is the tippy top, which I've done in the video before. It's where they have the top viewing. I haven't known that to be closed because it's just a slight grade up, a walking path about a quarter mile from the parking lot. So let me know if you meant the fire tower at Mount Mitchell. I'm just going to look real quick. Fire Tower, Mount Mitchell. Green Knob Lookout Tower. Green Knob Lookout Tower is an abandoned fire tower near Mount Mitchell. You have to let me know. And I know I'm a couple minutes behind. And I want to get to the news and notes. Let me know. Dale can be a woman's name. Do you recall Dale Evans? I apologize. If Dale is, absolutely, I could be completely wrong. So AZ Rock is for sure female. Thank you for letting me know. Actually, I don't ever know because I see people's name and you're exactly right. Like I just don't know sometimes. So thank you for correcting me. I did not know. But that's great. Sometimes I also, it's hard. Sometimes you can't put a face with a name. That's the only downside to YouTube is you only know people through textual messaging. So sometimes it's hard. So thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. We enjoying with you and our family, you and our friends. Hey, my baby girl Pepper is my lab cat, and she's also listening. That's awesome. I know Kentucky Girl was talking about her cat earlier, and yeah, you'll have to. Everybody, we got a lot of people with dogs that have them in the avatar, and we got a lot of people with cats. We are definitely a pet-friendly group here. Let's see. It's not too smart to talk junk to Steelers players. That's right. Yes, it was Phillip Rivers. Thank you, BBBB. It was Phillip Rivers. So it was Manning. It was Eli Manning, then Phillip Rivers, and then Ben Roethlisberger. Roy and Trigger. Yep. I saw Ben play against the Buckeyes with Miami of Ohio, and before the game even started, I asked my wife why OSU didn't have him. We had Belisari. He looked that good just in warmups. I remember when he was at Miami of Ohio also, and they did a thing on ESPN where before the game started, I don't remember who they were playing, some MAC game, and they said, "Can you spell Roethlisberger?" And Roethlisberger was nobody could spell it, and so that was that was kind of the novelty of it. My last comment was concerning your content. Great live streams and look forward to them. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for that positive feedback. I really appreciate it. And if anybody ever has constructive criticism, I'm open to that as well. If there's something that you think is needs to be tweaked or a little bit better, I always try to have an eye for making it enjoyable. With the O-line, Burrow he shouldn't talk junk to any team. That's right. You got to get a few notches on your belt, a few years behind before you I think you have the gusto to speak to other Hall of Famers and things like that. Is Mount Mitchell the tallest mountain? It is the tallest mountain east of the Mississippi River. So east of the Mississippi, obviously not west, you're going up to 25,000 feet or whatever, way, way up. But over here, it's 6,000. It's roughly 6,700 feet. It's yes. Foxy Wolf got me there. Tallest east of the Mississippi. I thought it was Klingman's Dome. No. So some of the taller ones around Mount Pisgah, Mount Mitchell, Mount LeConte, Cold Mountain, I think is one. I used to know, some of them. They're all these are above 6,000. I'm talking about the Tippy Top Lookout. Oh, good. Thank you for clearing that up because this has been closed this year every time I went. I actually used to have a taller tower there years ago. It's at the top of Mount Mitchell. Okay. So in my video I did last December, that was open. And I don't know why they would close it because, again, I was there December unless it was inclement weather because it does have almost like a handicap ramp to get up to it. And I guess if it's been raining and it gets cold up there, if that turns to ice, that's not, you're going to slip and fall. So you have to let me know if that was it. But in the summer, I don't know why they would, unless the winds get really bad up there. And maybe that could be it too. Maybe if wind gusts get like more than 30 miles an hour or 40, they don't want people up there because, I don't know, getting debris in the eye or something like that. The reason I knew Dale was female on Wednesdays, we play Hangman Cashews Paul and we play Girls Against Guys. Thank you for the clarification. And my apologies. I don't know. You're right. I shouldn't have made any assumption, but I hope Dale she is doing well. And usually here, maybe she'll join us here in a little bit. Dale is a great supporter of both my channels. Had a great comment on the one about the pressure washer I did. She said, I was trying to drain the oil, and I was getting tired of just waiting for it. So I picked it up and gave it some help. And she left a comment that said, oh, I was cracking up because you picked up the thing and started tilting it sideways. And that was funny. Where the guy that found Mount Mitchell's plaque is. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think is it the grave actually for the person who found Mount Mitchell? Speaking of which, I remember reading about that when I got up to the top. It was a really interesting story. I think some people even died trying to, get to the summit. So there's a big history there. Yes, you Kentucky girl, you and the women win a lot on the trivia. Yes. Klingman's is the highest in Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Yes. Yeah, Mount Hood is beautiful over there in Oregon. I think it's because of COVID. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just not firing on all cylinders tonight. COVID, that makes sense because that little circular part at the top of Mount Mitchell is very small. Another dumb question. How far is it to Mount Mitchell from Gatlinburg? Down over Thanksgiving weekend, so will those high elevations be closed then? All right. So, well, according to Smoky Mountain Hiker, again, it's not closed. Like the pictures I take, which are like 100 feet below, it's still unbelievable. And everything I did was open. I get now what Smoky Mountain Hiker's talking about. If you go back to my original Mount Mitchell, you'll see where I'm at the top, and it's kind of a 360-degree view. It's just close quarters up there, so you would be within a few feet. Now that makes sense why they would close it. I didn't even think about that. So, as far as time, you'll have to look on the map, but basically what you have to do is it's 2 hours over to Asheville and another about hour to hour and 15 up. You're looking at about a 3-hour drive. And then there's no way you're going to do it straight without getting out and taking pictures and stuff. So I'd say 3.5 hours. So you're looking at 7-hour round trip, but gives you an excuse to stop in Asheville and enjoy some of the great stuff that's on this side of the mountains. Yes, it is his grave. Okay. Lily says, got to run. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. See you all next Monday. Yes. Thank you, Lily, for joining us. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful week. If you have time on Wednesday at 7, come play Hangman with us on Cashew's Paul channel. Yeah, I did play that a few times, especially during the pandemic. It's a lot of fun. He does a great job. And it's an excellent format, very unique. And I know a lot of people enjoy it. I just been getting, I carve out time on Monday to do this, but the reality is the rest of the week, between exercising and family and work and everything, I've been cutting down my live stream participation just because time has been more of a precious commodity these days than maybe it was during the pandemic. Like March and April, I spent a lot of times like every day joining people's live streams, but now it's been a little more difficult. Yes, it would be a nice trip. The Trouble Living Like Larry could be closed because of snow and ice. Just keep an eye the weather. That's right. So with that, let me get over to the housekeeping for the week. Let's start with housekeeping of the week of October the 5th, 2020. So first up, there's a new video. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that. So the new video is entitled Cold Summer Morning in the Mountains. And what had happened was a cold front came through, and it was, speaking of Mount Mitchell, we weren't able to get up there that early, but it was in the high 20s. And that's unbelievable for summertime for me because, again, Canada or the northern states are really high elevations like people were talking about west or Oregon, Colorado. I get it. But we are in the southeast. We're not that far from Georgia and South Carolina. It's plenty hot that time of the year. You can still be in the high 90s. So to hear 20s and 30s was crazy. So I said, we got to head up there. And we took off. And indeed, we did make it. It was toggling between the 30s and the 40s. And we got out. It was nice and cool. It was just a crazy experience because normally you associate that weather with like fall or no leaves, but everything was still green. But it was like getting into wintertime temps. It was just really fun. And we, stopped for breakfast and went up the Blue Ridge Parkway. I love how I was able to stop at that Blue Ridge Parkway sign because normally it's pretty busy traffic right there getting on the parkway, but I was able to and didn't see one car. So that was a lot of fun. And The other thing was, oh my goodness, did we ever do well getting up early? Like, we don't normally can get out of the house early because we have such a big family, but we did get out of the house by like 6:45 or 7, which is a miracle, a small miracle. And we got breakfast and we made it up there early because I wanted to before the temps rose. But on the way back, it was car after car after car after car after car after car. What I mean is the crowds were a coming. Like, everybody else left, the Asheville area at like 9, 10 o'clock, and all the traffic was going the other way. I bet you Mount Mitchell was packed that day, just because even though it got into the 40s and 50s later that day, that still was a nice cool off from the summer, but it was a lot of traffic. It was a beautiful end of summer day, clear day, but the traffic coming up the opposite way on the parkway, I swear we were the only car going down at that time. Really great video. If you haven't checked it out yet, I enjoyed it. Again, a lot of fun vlog style. And I hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. And I hope you all are able to check it out. And hey, we got Hike with Mike came in here and said hello. I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week. Thank you for joining us. And yes, Smoky Mountain Rough Rider said it. The early bird gets the view. That is perfect. That, they actually should have a bumper sticker that says that. The Bojangles employee acted like you were doing something wrong. Yes, Rita, that was crazy. So we're getting it, and we're recording, and I'm like, I just want to record because, Bojangles isn't everywhere. Maybe people get a kick out of it. And yeah, the lady came through and was like, why are you recording? Or what are you recording for? And because it was in the video. It's like, oh, it's just for the YouTube channel. They thought I was, I don't know, like trying to like do a piece on, how Bojangles stinks, or, catching them like not working hard or something like that. Because I don't know if it was on, but when we actually got the food, it was like the manager. He handed it to me. But like I mentioned, it's kind of weird because everybody's videotaping something nowadays, whether it's Snapchat or TikTok or Facebook or YouTube. And I was all smiles anyway. So it wasn't like I was like, like, hey, how many minutes have those biscuits been under the warm light? So yeah. So what do we say here? She thought Mr. Mountain when it was a kid and was going to go off. Yeah. They thought maybe customer service or something like that, but it was it was pretty funny. But I let them know. I rest assured. I was like, oh no, I just like Bojangles. I'm just having a little fun. Faye says, I'll have to go check out the video. Must have missed it. It just came out on Saturday evening. And yeah, if you look on the channel like all the others, if you hit the little bell, the bell 1 time subscribes, 2 times, and it will give you all the notifications. So like on your phone, the little, on mine, like the little YouTube icon comes up when somebody has a new video. I always like to get up the trails before sunrise and watch the wilderness wake up. There were a ton of people going for hikes up there at Mount Mitchell, where I started to hike and said, I'm not going for a hike today. There were several groups that were getting ready to go for a day hike. It was the air up there is amazing. I mean, I wish you could bottle it up. It's so crisp and so fresh. It's really, really nice. I wish we had Bojangles up here. I love them. Yes, I like it. It's junk food, but it's good junk food. And I do enjoy it. Enjoyed the video. It's a great place for a picnic. Yes, I want to grill out up there. I might be getting a little late for it because it will be getting colder soon, but who knows? Maybe we'll get a late summer and that'll do that. Sounds nice watching the wilderness wake up. Faye said, are you going to do Movember this year? I did Movember years ago. Faye remembers. Movember is for charity for men's cancer awareness, where basically you shave off at the beginning of the month and you grow a mustache. And I grew like a Wyatt Earp mustache like 10 years ago. I'm not talking little. After a month, I let it grow for like 5 months. And this thing went like this. It's not a twisty. This was an old-fashioned, thick, puffy Wyatt Earp mustache. It was funny because a lot of guys thought it was really cool. Like, I'd have people at restaurants come up to me and be like, man, your mustache is awesome. I had one guy once, it was up in Ohio, I put in base, like, can I take my picture with you? But it was cool. It was for charity and I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm doing it this year. But I encourage folks to do participate. It's a lot of fun. Shave off the beginning of the month, and for 1 month, grow a mustache and raise money for charity. The other thing, let's see, back to the new or housekeeping. Let me quickly go through the share screen. And where are you? This guy. Here we go. Only got a couple of pictures new this week. But the thing is I actually have more pictures than this. I just didn't post them. So burgers yesterday, but wasn't just burgers. I actually was late to take the picture. I did a smorgasbord of meat. There was hot dogs, chicken, drumsticks, burgers, asparagus. That was it. Right? I almost did beef ribs too, but I did not the pork ribs, but the beef ribs, the easy ones to cook. And I didn't do those. It was getting late. It's dark right there. I used the flash. And the other picture was, look at that. I mean, that's pretty cool. That was a close up. That red right there is just beautiful on that tree. I don't know what kind of tree that was, but anyway, against the green, it looked really cool. Fall's coming. I have more pictures to show. I need to, hey, look at that. 77 followers and 77 posts. Maybe I should make one post every single time that I get a follower. No, but anyway, that was really cool. So catching back up. Oh, somebody leaving. It was an awesome mustache. Yes. Thank you, Faye. Good night, Mr. Mountain Man. Be safe, blessed mod. Sorry, I have to leave 3:30 a.m. comes early. Yes. Please rest easy. That does come early. You've got, what do you got? 7 hours. Yeah. You need to, get some sleep and get some rest. Are you going to go look for Spearfinger again this year? Yeah. There's a great, backdrop to the story of Spearfinger at the Cherokee Museum in Cherokee, North Carolina, which I went to right before I started this channel. November. I grow out my beard starting in November, and I grow it to late January. I trim off my beard with clippings for the bird's nest. I call it my Beards for Birds program. That's awesome. I'm sure the birds do appreciate that. That's really cool, Mike. I didn't shave for like 3 weeks when COVID started, and I was working at home. The wife said it was enough, had to stop. Right. Yeah. You know, when I had that mustache, one of the reasons I had to cut it off is we had young children at the time, and every time I'd kiss them on the cheek, I couldn't feel their face. It was like this big old bristle brush in front of my face. And so eventually I got rid of it and just went back to my typical short beard. When the air is that clean and crisp, I always feel like I can run for miles than try. And reality turns to feet, not miles. I know. I just like standing there and taking a deep breath. And it just really, it's really, really peaceful. You have to look up the pictures of the mustache and show us. Yes, I can do that. I have some pictures. I'll have to get them so I can share them on this computer. Now I will do that, Rita. I even thought about that today, but I don't know why I thought about that today. Maybe because November's coming up. Now I want a big burger off the grill. And then the funny thing was those burgers, we had leftovers, and that's what I ate again tonight, right before this. I always see your Instagram post when I'm at work, and it makes me hungry. Right. Yeah. I always try on Sunday to grill for the family, and I tried to put it on there. My brother-in-law gets compliments on his mohawk and beard from guys in public. They tell him how cool it looks. Right. You know, anything that's a little bit different, you know, guys are just like, oh, that's really awesome. And so it was fun while I was doing it. It was really cool. Because it was different too. It was very old-fashioned type of mustache, very thick. You know, it came down to like here and went around. It was pretty cool. I go outside and clean out by curlers to give hair to the birds. Also, yeah, you want to know something? I've seen birds' nests in the yard that use like garbage from the yard or like things they'll find and make the nest out of it. It's really, really cool. Yeah. So let me get to the next part here, which is the news and notes for the week before we get too long in the tooth. Give me 1 second and I will get this going here. Share the screen, Chrome tab, and present. All right, first up, got a few articles here. Western North Carolina fall foliage forecast is looking bright, biologists say. Let me take that banner off there. How do you know it's going to be a good fall color season in Western North Carolina? That's here. When plant ecologists start using exclamatory words and punctuation marks. Wow. Someone hit the color switch this week. Dr. Howard Newfield, professor of plant physiology at Appalachian State University in Boone, wrote on his Facebook page after a drive down the parkway. While to the average leaf seeker, the views right now will still appear mostly green and not washed with brilliant golds and reds, the trained eye can see the colors amidst the green, and they will be peaking on time. What leaves need for spectacular fall color is splendid September, sunny days, and cool nights with enough rain to ward off the drought. And so this September, and I smile because we got all that. This is perfect, you know. This September delivered, said Beverly Collins, biology professor at Western Carolina University. The distinctive cold snap this week is ideal weather to bring out the fall color. The red pigments are not always in the leaves, but are produced in fall when the weather turns cool. I appreciate, I'll anticipate we'll see good color. I lost my spot here. I'll anticipate we'll see good color appearing this week and next. However, some leaves, especially on trees hit hard by herbivores, such as caterpillars, have already begun falling without much color change. So if you ever see them go straight off the tree in brown, I found that kind of interesting because I always wondered, why does that happen sometimes? On the parkway, some of the low blueberry bushes were already bright red. The mountain maple were turning orange, some fire cherry and a scattering of red maples were turning in low elevations. I'm predicting we'll have good color by the end of the weekend and into the next week at the higher elevations above 4,000 feet. And then from about October 10th to the 18th at the 3,000-foot elevation band. We may have a normally timed fall color season this year after so many warm years where the colors were delayed. Yeah, the last 2 years, we had really warm Septembers, which delayed the color. And then a lot of trees went straight to brown in late October, early November. Now, I don't know how big your screen is here, but there is a chart here in the top right-hand corner that says what the anticipated time will be for the expected peak. So starting backwards, above 6,000, that's your Mount Mitchell right there. Second week in October, that's the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mount Pisgah and Grandfather Mountain. Second to third week, above 5,000, once again, the Blue Ridge Parkway, Highway 441 and 221, above 4,000 feet the third week. 3,000 feet the third to fourth week, that's the end of October, and then 2,000 feet, which is getting down towards the French Broad River and Asheville, the fourth week in October, rolling into the first week in November. Any road below 3,000 feet. So we've got a whole month of peak. How do you enjoy the different ways? You just get up in different elevations. You hop on the Blue Ridge Parkway, you go up into the mountains. And if you don't live in the mountains, the same thing is going to apply. Now, if you live in a flat area, well, if you live in Florida, this is out. So this article doesn't apply. If you live in some other area of the country and you have a slight elevation change, you're going to see it as well. Also, if you change temperatures, maybe if you go a little further northern in your state versus southern, you might be able to emulate that same experience even if you don't have the elevation. So let's say you live in Michigan or Wisconsin and you drive north into a colder area a few hours, you might get that same experience. So look for the mountains to be showing off here soon. It will be nice. Let's see. South Georgia pines are green, then brown, then on the ground. Yeah, well, the pine producing pine needle, I love the smell of pine needle. Like Foxy Wolf says, meaning no pretty color in South Georgia. Yeah. Talking about when I was asked earlier about did I miss Florida? You know, that's one part. There was no real season change. I mean, the oak trees did shed a little bit. A lot of oak trees in Florida. The palms didn't. You had to cover the palms if it got down to freezing with blankets and sheets or plastic, or they would die. We had some really crazy winters in there in South and Central Florida. We were there 3 years ago over Thanksgiving, and there were still great colors. Yeah, and I don't remember 3 years ago the exact temperatures, but when it's warmer, they'll hang on later. And if you talk about places like Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, those are below 1,000 foot in elevation. Actually, Gatlinburg's like 1,200, I think. But Pigeon Forge, I think, is like 980, 990. So, and it's definitely warmer there. I mean, the difference between Klingman's Dome and Pigeon Forge are like night and day. I get some fall color in the swamp in Florida. Sweet gum, red maple, and cypress trees change color. Something about the swamp water. That's awesome. And that you get some, especially if you're in like North Central Florida, of any of that. But even if you're not, wherever you're talking about, that's awesome. The colors are definitely starting on the Parkway and the Smokies. Yeah. It is really nice. That's a great segue into my next article, which I wanted to talk about, which is, speaking of which, my public service announcement for the week: beware of the deadly wrecks on the Blue Ridge Parkway during fall leaf season. And then they took a picture here of graveyard fields. From this article from Blue Ridge Now, note of caution from the rangers and officials on the Parkway, one of the most famous roads in the colorful leaf seeking, to buckle up, slow down, keep eyes on the road, and pull over to see the leaves to avoid untimely death. What they're getting at here, and I'll keep reading the article, this is the busiest time of the year on the Parkway and all leaf season. And now with cell phones in the last 10 years and everything, a lot of people get distracted. You got a lot of out-of-towners. You got a lot of people snapping pics. They might take their hands off the steering wheel. You got to be a really good defensive driver when you're out and about visiting. So sometimes the best thing to do is to pull over to one of these places like you've seen in my videos and take a bunch of pictures. But when you're on the road, whether that's a motorcycle or a car, be very diligent and aware, because odds are other people are not. That includes anything left of center, whatever. So to have the odds in your favor, try not to be out there when the weather is inclement, fog, heavy rains, things like that. Crystal clear days, and drive defensively. To continue on the article, with so much to see from those windows, we need to focus on the drive first and then break out the cameras and the phones on everything else. The Parkway has seen a slight burst in accidents and related fatalities through the summer, and the fall colors will surely carry more tourists to the nearly 470-mile Parkway, which runs from the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia through Asheville, ending at the entrance to the Great Smoky Mountains. Folks have already been swarming to the Parkway since the reopening of the roadway and facilities in May, according to the officials. Through August, the Parkway has had an estimated 8.5 million visitors, not too far from the estimated 9.5 million during the same period last year. The extra human presence is expected to continue as the people awake from the coronavirus hibernation and are stirred by cabin fever, bringing the potential for more vehicle accidents. Typically, October is the most visited month on the Parkway after July, with both averaging about 2 million visitors. The Parkway is the second most visited national park in the country, with nearly 15 million visitors last year. It was built during the Depression specifically to bring tourists through the scenic Blue Ridge Mountains to revive the economy. Yes, be very, very extra careful. Like, a lot of you aren't even from this area of the country and maybe not coming to this. So when I read the news of the local Western North Carolina and East Tennessee, maybe it's just interesting to you. But if you are, and even if you're in your neck of the woods and you have a scenic roadway, just be extra cautious because it can get a little crazy out there. Let's see. Foxy Wolf said we have long leaf, short leaf. The true southern pines are wicked tall and huge. They're really pretty too. See them in South Carolina. Depends on what part of Florida. North Florida gets some leaf changes. Central, not so much. Yes. I once watched a documentary about plantation in Georgia. I didn't know such a thing existed. One driver, one photographer. Yep. I enjoy being the passenger in the mountains so I can really take in the views. Yes. And that's the way to do it. If you're going to have multiple people in the car, let the driver be the one that has to pay attention to everybody else. But if you pull over, the Parkway does it really well. They have pull-offs like every few miles with just amazing views. And so while somebody might have to pay attention, it's not that you will never see a view because they have the most spectacular views are at the pull-offs anyway. Next up, interesting article here. Because of the pandemic and so much outdoor eating, it's getting cold, right? Like evidenced by my video and everything else going on, everything we're talking about. And it kind of makes you think, what do I do if I want to go sit outdoors and eat, but it's December and it's 25 degrees? Well, the answer for that sometimes are these, if you can see on the screen in the middle of that screenshot or that picture, there is a portable heat lamp. First time I had ever seen those was out in California and San Diego. They were used a lot outdoors when it got cooler at night. So this article says there's a local agency that has heat lamps that are critical for the winter outdoor dining in Asheville. A national shortage of heat lamps for outdoor dining could be a concern for many restaurants this winter, but Asheville Independent Restaurant Association officials said they have it covered. AIR's Jane Anderson said having outdoor dining available this summer kept at least 5 local restaurants from closing. Mountain BizWorks put AIR in touch with a vendor that bought 200 of those heat lamps that meet Asheville's fire code. This is not something a restaurant owner can go to their local big box hardware store like Lowe's or Home Depot and purchase, because those are not of the caliber that are required to use in public places. Anderson said the corporate WNC Western North Carolina bought 200 heat lamps. There's about 50 left. They cost $395. Anything positive for the local economy to keep them running, because restaurants and bars have had it tough with the reopening. So this is good news for them that they'll be able to dine outdoors and maybe encourage folks on those mild winter days that are, 40s or 50s, put a coat on, get next to one of those lamps and enjoy some food outside. Definitely the way to go. Let's see if anybody said, my pine forest in my area once uses turpentine camps. They collected sap from the pines to make turpentine as recently as the 1950s. See evidence from the camps. Hardy cups used to collect the sap in groves cut into the pine tree called cat faces. That's really cool. I'll bite. What is pine straw? This is okay. So this is we use it as a bedding instead of mulch, and I love it. In fact, when I lived in Florida, I would drive an hour to buy pine straw because for whatever reason, nobody sold it on the coast. It was just mulch, but it's basically pine that falls off of trees, and it works tremendously, and it smells incredible. Like everywhere in Georgia and South Carolina and a lot of places in North Carolina use it. I love it. You want to make me take a vacation to the mountains. I know I'm like the Chamber of Commerce for Western North Carolina. I live on a air of naval stores. Hike with Mike. My grandfather always had tap pine trees. I wonder if you meant acre, or maybe it was R. I'm on an R of naval. Anyway, yes. And always had tap pine trees. Yes, used as mulch. Those heaters usually are not good unless you're right under them, though. Yeah, it does depend if the wind is blowing or not. And again, they did mention these are the commercial grade ones, not the ones that you buy for your house, like at Home Depot. But you're right. If it gets into the 20s, they're not as effective. Yeah, pine trees are awesome. I don't think the heat lamps would be enough for me. I would freeze. Yeah, I'm just optimistic for some of these businesses because I know they have had, half of the customers that they normally do. So it's just hopefully positive news that they'll be able to, make it through the winter months with some folks as well. Oh, cool. You can sterilize a pine tree to kill the critters and ship it worldwide. Or you can just wear long underwear, right? Put on a big coat, put on a hat, go outside, and you got it. Yes. So next up, this is okay. You guys know I watch obscure documentaries, right? This is the last article before the weather. Last night I'm watching on Amazon. Amazon Prime, by the way, is the best for obscure documentaries, or cool ones too. And I had saved one about the Tennessee Valley. And it was in color, the thumbnail. But when I started watching it, the first half of it was all in black and white. And I did not know what the Tennessee Valley Authority was, the TVA. And basically, it was like this promotional video from like the 30s or 40s. Because what happened with the TVA, or the Tennessee Valley Authority, if you look at the history, I learned about it. Apparently in the 30s, all the farmers through the Tennessee Valley and the Tennessee River that goes like in a U shape through the state of Tennessee were absolutely getting decimated by the rains and the floods. Every time those rivers would flood and wash out the farms, and all these poor farmers, like literally not like poor farmers, but poor farmers that, and all their crops would get wiped away. So this was a government created, the Tennessee Valley Authority, to basically do a multi-factor amount of things. They built a whole slew of dams through all the rivers. So if you see a whole bunch of dams in Tennessee, that's a part of the Tennessee Valley Authority. And it was also cool in that documentary I watched because a lot of the farmers were skeptical, but they came in to help. taught them new ways of like how to farm on a grade and gave them new techniques. They all worked together. It prospered for all the farmers and the people. Also for they were basically getting into hydroelectric with all these dams. So they were able to create a whole bunch of electricity and make this, I guess, to profit from it at the same time. There was also a cool history around it because they created a city, the government did in World War II, called Oak Ridge, which is outside of Knoxville, which created a ton of aluminum for munitions in World War II, and also the materials to make the atom bomb for what happened in Japan. The workers there didn't even know what they were making, but because of all the water to cool, it wasn't a nuclear plant, but they were making the materials for it, as I understand. I was reading through all the history last night. I got hooked on it. The TVA now is just, I don't think anybody pays much attention to it, but it was interesting because I Googled it today and there was an article today in the, this is the Knoxville News. And it was right on point from what I watched last night. How crazy. I hope I didn't bore you, but it's interesting, something like this and the history behind it. And it really did help the people of Tennessee. The Tennessee Valley Authority's mission of service to Tennessee is still as relevant today as it was nearly 90 years ago when it was created. As a fully self-funded quasi-government entity, TVA is the largest public power supplier in the United States, serving 10 million people across 80,000 square miles in 7 southeastern states. Throughout its 90-year history, TVA has provided reliable, low-cost electricity to the people of the Tennessee Valley and fundamentally altered the economic trajectory of the region. Has also been a driving force in making Tennessee the economic powerhouse it is today. With no TVA, instead of Tennessee ranking as a top state for business, who knows where it would be? TVA faced an unprecedented and at the time controversial challenge when it was created by Congress in 1933. The Tennessee Valley was a largely rural area defined by the ebb and flow of the Tennessee River, where the private sector did not have the capacity to invest in large-scale infrastructure. The TVA electrified the region, implemented flood control and river navigation through the creation and maintenance of 49 dams along the 652-mile Tennessee River, helped enhance agricultural production, as I was talking about, in the region, and created opportunities for cities like Chattanooga, Knoxville, Nashville, and Memphis to invest in downtown infrastructure and attract corporate economic development, setting the stage for the vibrant state economy we know today. TVA's economic benefits are not solely in the past. TVA has continued to be a key reason why companies invest in the Tennessee Valley. In the past 5 years alone, that includes $44 billion in new capital investment, 350,000 new jobs, and $9 billion annual economic impact. TVA even has facilitated a robust recreation industry that relies on the steady regulation of Tennessee's waterways, bringing in billions of dollars to communities throughout the valley. So yeah, that was very interesting. I saw some comments coming through here. Let me tell you the name of that documentary if you're interested. It was called, I'm trying to look for it. Give me 2 seconds because it's in my list. But since I watched it, it probably, where's my list? Sorry, I'm not trying to watch next, featured. Where is my list? Where navigate, store, channels, find my stuff, watch list. Do I have a history? Oh, here it's called The Valley of Tennessee, Creating and Maintaining Documentary. The Valley of Tennessee, Creating and Maintaining. Okay, here it is. Can you guys see that? Okay. Anyway, you don't have to watch it. It was kind of weird too because, well, first of all, it got terrible ratings because I think people turn it on and see some old black and white video. And then at the end of the video, they sandwich on this completely random documentary from the Park Service in the 1990s about how to build trails, like engineer trails, like out. But it wasn't from the Smoky Mountains. I actually looked it up and it was, I think it was created in Colorado. I don't know what they just sandwiched that on. I don't know. Amazon Prime's crazy. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that's what it was. Let me roll into the weather. Then I'll look at the comments here. Weather for the week is actually warmer here in Western North Carolina than it was last week. If you're to look at last week, most of the highs were in the 60s, the lows in the 40s. This week, as you see midweek, we're back up to almost 80 degrees with lows in the 50s, with the latter part of the week getting back into the 60s, but in 70s. So a little bit of an increase in temperature, but still, those are very pleasant. You're talking about being in those upper 70s for just an hour or two and then right back in the 60s in the mountains. So can't complain. Everything's nice. And I hope you enjoyed that news and notes for the week for October the 5th, 2020. Let me catch back up on the comments before we close it out tonight. I saw some good stuff in here. Kentucky Girl has uncles that work for the TVA, and it sounded like it. I mean, this is not something I know of. That's not where our power in North Carolina comes from, Duke Energy. But now that I know more about it, it gets kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting what it did. I mean, the way that old documentary went, I mean, these people were just getting decimated, and then they, they were reluctant too when the TVA came in to try to teach them and help them. And then building all those dams, but it's pretty interesting. So yeah, if you're driving through Tennessee and you see dams, that's probably part of the TVA, which has a history to help the people and made the jobs and on and on and on and on. It's pretty cool. And all that hydroelectric power, renewable, that energy, that's awesome. That would be the TVA in Western Kentucky. Yeah. I mean, that river and that U shape that came down through Tennessee, I think it dips down even below it. I have family that works for the TVA still. That's cool, Larry. Back in Georgia, there's a museum there of naval stores. It is on 520. Okay, cool. I believe TVA was in other southern states to that border of Tennessee. Yes, you are right, Kentucky Girl, back on that picture. It did dip down. It's kind of like a wide U shape, almost like a smiley face. There are even TVA projects here in Florida too. Oh, interesting. Yes, Foxy Wolf is correct. And that's what the documentary, some farmers were not keen on the TVA. It took some time doing. Oak Ridge was a secret facility that was taboo for people for years. Unfortunately, Oak Ridge had a lot of problems too, because it was in the South with its history and segregation and such. So when I was reading the history, that time that was not good. So if you siphon out the historical part of World War II and read about it, but it did have a checkered past. Oak Ridge did, and that was unfortunate. But it also, the other part of it being taboo was it was just secret and they didn't know what was going on there. But that is cool. And yes, that was what the documentary is about. Like all these reluctant farmers, like, what do you want to do to my farm? And I don't trust you and you're not going to teach me. And then one farmer decides to do it and he has the best tobacco crop ever. And then everybody else believes it. So it was probably like a promotional video. One of your great-grandfathers worked at the TVA and built the dam near you. Other great-grandfather's boat dock that was created to make the lake from the river. That's awesome. I'll love to hear more about that, Mom. And yes, Foxy, thank you for telling me about that, Mom. That's really super interesting. And Foxy Wolf, yes, Fontana Dam, and I've been to Fontana Village, is a TVA dam. And Fontana, probably one of the more popular ones. A lot of people over there. And I had learned that yesterday when I was watching that Fontana Dam was in the system. There are two dams within 7 to 10 miles of my house. I'm pretty much surrounded by water. The river is less than a mile from my house. It's interesting because, again, I was not educated on this. If you would have asked me last week, what's the TVA and Tennessee Valley Authority, I would have had no idea. I'd be like, do they do roads or something? So yeah, see the reaction. We're all interested in TVA also. Yeah, you guys are reading my mind tonight. You're like one comment ahead of me. I like to learn. So it was interesting. Erosion was so bad in that area. Families were starving until the TVA came in. Yes. Foxy Wolf, you sound like you already know the history, but you might enjoy that documentary. If you have Amazon Prime Video is free. I shouldn't say free. It's included with your membership. Civilian Conservation Corps did a lot of forestry projects during the Great Depression too. Interesting. Farmers didn't want house hires telling them how to farm their land. And that made sense. I'm not a farmer, but I got the picture they were trying to paint. It was like, this might not be going well, but what are you, going to tell me about how to run my farm? That's how the documentary was. Cool coverage, history, weather, and leaf watching. Thank you. I appreciate that. That nice feedback on the update this week. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And you guys can give me feedback. You know what? You're not going to hurt my feelings. I like the format of Mountain Man Monday. If you feel differently, I do kind of keep an eye on the number of people in the chat and see if there's any drop off when I do that. But also one of the things that happens is the longer I go, some people have to go to bed and stuff like that. In fact, I need to wrap it up here in about a minute or two. But yeah, it was, yes, Living Like Larry said, we learned about the TVA in history class years ago. Okay. So if you were in Ohio and learned about the TVA, maybe I was told about it. I just don't remember it again. I think it was war history. Oh, it was history. Okay. Okay. Once again, Mr. Mountain is eclectic. Yeah, I'm all over the place, right? And oh, thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. You have a great format. Don't change it. I do. I really appreciate that feedback. That's good. I'm glad to know you guys enjoy it because I do it to stimulate some fun conversation like this. I didn't even know what the TVA is, and all you know people that work there, and it sounds like my great grandpa had ties to it. That's really cool. Mike says, I like the Monday night slot. Good way to start the work week. Yes. And that's the whole intention, is that we, have a little fun on, the start of the week. I agree, Larry. So with that, I'm at an hour and 30. The night is getting a little long in the tooth here. I got to check in with the family. I want to say I really enjoyed tonight. Everybody's comments. Sorry, when I talk nonstop for 90 minutes, I have to. I even start sweating a little bit. It's only 73.8, so that's not that hot. But when I get it going here and I have this light on me, it gets a little warm in here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time, great conversation. And I thank you to all the regulars and everybody new and everybody that showed up tonight. I hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy the fall. Enjoy the great weather. Everybody that mentioned your different channels, if you have time, please go explore each other's channels, support them, leave comments. Feel free to check out my new video. And hopefully with the fall coming around the corner with the colors, I'll be able to create some new content as well and bring that to you. And until next time, yes, good night to everybody. Thank you so much. And you all have a wonderful, safe, and great week. Good night, everyone. We'll talk to you next Monday.